Sounds a little funny. What do you actually call this thing?
So this is actually called the Typhoon. It's like a play off the Typhoon. The old GMC Typhoon was a turbo 6-cylinder. This is a modern day Typhoon. This is a Trailblazer.
Show me what you got here, man.
Yep.
It really does sound like a 2J a little bit, but I've actually been looking forward to tuning this a long time. If you guys have been watching for a long time, we had been very much considering running this exact platform, which is the Atlas 4200, and I'm actually really pumped to tune this thing today. You've been doing this for a little while. How long have you had the truck?
So I actually bought this almost 3 months ago to the day with the intent of doing this build. So
you did this in 3 months?
July 1st I bought it.
Oh wow,
and
dude, awesome.
October 1st is a couple days away, and it'll be 3 months.
And how big's the turbo again?
So that is an S372. It was actually on Calvin Nelson's Fairmont Futura.
Ah, that's on the shirt right there. Yeah.
So
yeah, I did a video with Calvin a while ago. If you guys have been watching, this is what I mentioned about the 4200, but yeah, sorry.
No, yeah, Calvin is a huge reason I did this. He's instrumental in this platform. So Artec Performance Manifold, S372, top off valve, stock computer, E85, and meth injection.
Heck yeah. Now, the big problem, though, that we got to fight today is that it's got a 4L60, so...
It does have a bone stock, 83,000 miles, so hopefully that's a testament.
Well, dude, I'm actually really pumped to see this thing, so, yeah, the exhaust manifold, the Artec manifold looks really, really, really sick on there. Stock intake manifold. You said Artec's going to probably be making a intake manifold, too?
Artec, I believe, is in production of an intake manifold.
These things can make as much as 400 NA,
yeah.
Which would be absolutely awesome. I mean, they got to be revving pretty good and have all the good supporting stuff, but I would love to see that happen. If this thing's making 300 NA and we can throw 15 pounds of boost at it, the power potential on paper, pretty nasty. Now, it's non-intercooled with methanol, but I mean, like, even if we had 500 wheel would be absolutely so fun.
That's the magic number in my opinion. If we can make 500 wheel, I'll be stoked.
All right, we'll see if we can do it. We're gonna try our first pull. We have no methanol on right now. I'm trying to get my scanner to scan the right stuff. It's a little bit different than what I'm normally used to, so I've got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you guys about once we dive into the tuning portion of it, but yeah, that'll be coming up right after this.
Smells like McDonald's.
Not a bad start, and actually even Calvin was like, hey, it's probably going to make peak power at 5,700. That may change, but it looks like it's still going to keep on freight training. That could be a characteristic of the AR on the exhaust side, but it looks like it has yet to peak. That's 392, the air fuel is 11.0. It has a funky, very, very little timing. We got to see what it'll take to tolerate. So obviously there's transitional issues. Yep. So we're going to try and work on that and see what we can do. I got a lot to cover.
Sounds so angry.
We seem to have lost a bunch of power. This has not been a walk in the park. It has definitely been interesting learning this whole processor. It is the same processor that I'm used to, but the layout and how everything is actually playing out is very different. So we're playing around with the cam timing only on this pull. We had made some pretty good power. That was 437, 383, and it's making peak power all the way out at 61, 6200. I might rev it a little farther, see what happens, but we're trying just cam timing. It's just the exhaust cam timing, and we're giving it more, so it should be able to expel the charge more. We'll see how that actually works in practice. And the fuel mapping is not at all like what I would expect to see. I'll show you guys that here in just a short minute. All right, I'm gonna try and figure out what happened. It almost is like, so this is kind of like a hacked operating system. So right here we lost an input right here. It's almost like we lost part of the map, and yeah, it spiked some sort of area on the timing there, right there, and then it it went back. So we got to see, it's like there's an anomaly or something. Something's a little bit off right there. Our fueling was all right, but we had this area where it just kind of freaked out a little bit right in the middle right there. So I might have to play with the map a little bit, but again, it showed spark knock. We were doing good up in the earlier part right there. And then over in this area right here, it showed spark knock and was retarding timing. So we'll have to just probably play games until we get it right. But we're just gonna keep chipping away until we get this thing dialed in. But yeah, that is definitely a weird anomaly right there. Like bucking it park throttle wise. It's a weird noise.
That's something with exhaust.
It's the heat shield hitting the exhaust, yeah.
It was like some funny valve train part that I'm not used to is now clanking. All right, so yeah, I was cruising in part throttle wise. I have a lean spot. The lean spot was like adding fuel. That added fuel added it on top there. So yeah, a little richer than I wanted to be, but it made like right at 419.8, 386. That's the best torque that we've had, but I have to try and, I'm gonna try and clean up that fuel map a little bit more. Now, I went back to stock exhaust timing for the camshaft. There's just so many things going on. There's so many variables I'm trying to wrangle here. But yeah, it's doing okay. I'm gonna try and see if we can still better that. We're not done yet, but we're making good progress, man. I'm making repeatable power now, and it didn't have that glitch in it. So that glitch in it seemed to manifest when I changed the cam timing. So I don't know what to do with that yet. I'm gonna try and inch back towards it, see what happens. So we'll go from there. All right, fellas, finally got some of this stuff to make sense. I put in a different, so I went to Holly in order to get the HB Tuners information, and I pulled up the Snake Eater information on there, put that in. Granted, this tune had been, modified a couple times already, and it always just helps to check. So I put in the calibration for that. It took me a long time to get that right. Still is not perfect, but we are really shaping things up. We didn't have that stupid anomaly there. No knock, 20 degrees of timing. Best of 161, 162 kPa, so that's just about 9 pounds of boost. This showed a little bit of knock there. That is not, in fact, actually accurate, but yeah, excellent overall. Our air temperature is stupid hot. That's 170 something degrees at the top of run 11 right there, so 428, 390. And as it goes up on the top end right there, that is seeing a very hot air temp, and if we were to let it cool for a while, that would most certainly yield a bunch more power up top. Now it was finally time to take it to the streets. Just like any other tune, we got to check it on the street, make sure that everything works.
He's gonna do a little four-wheel drive launch.
So John made a few more upgrades after the tune, of which are just helping with efficiencies. Added an air-to-water intercooler, of which really helped out quite a bit, lowered the air temperatures along with that front mount heat exchanger. And he added a trunk tank for the with some larger volume of coolant. So then he modified the headlights so that he could get cold air into the intake for the turbo. Then he went to Orlando Speed World and actually cut a 12.7 at 106. Well, I have to admit it was actually very challenging, even though I really know that E67 processor very well. It was a totally different perspective from what I'm used to, but so that's John Whitaker, by the way, and you can actually follow his YouTube at j_wit, and he's got a different perspective of tuning that car, as well as some of the stuff going to the track and some of the further modifications and so on and so forth. So John actually comes from Grassroots Motorsports, which is its own completely awesome form of motorsports that is shoestring budget and a lot of fabrication, a lot of do-it-yourself stuff. It is awesome. Definitely worth checking out some of his stuff on his page. So whether you guys are beginner, intermediate, or advanced, we have a course for you. We actually are offering 3 courses in this January. So January 15th, 16th is going to be for the beginners, and the 20th, 21st is going to be intermediate. We may do an intermediate advanced on the 25th, 26th. We'll see how that all kind of shapes up. But I'm actually very, very excited about it. This is something that I'm very passionate about. It is pretty much a new chapter in my career, and I'm so excited that you guys want to come and join that. So it's actually $1,500 for a 2-day course, about 2 9-hour days, jam-packed full of information. I'm giving you guys a library of files to be able to help you start your library for doing tunes. We offer all sorts of stuff for naturally aspirated, force induction, pretty much anything under the sun, all sorts of injector data as well. It is a lot of stuff. So we offer a number of different perspectives of different things that we're going to cover. So even behind me right here, here's a couple of different things of what we do. We have the library of files. What we're doing is I'm telling you guys certain things that you can do to every single car, every single platform. And I basically call that a template of certain things that you're going to modify regardless of what it is, regardless of the state of modifications, and it really makes a huge difference. We cover turbos, superchargers, engine theory, engine diagnostics, all sorts of common problems that we see day in and day out at Fasterproms. Fasterproms Tuning School, that is January 15th and 16th, 20th, 21st, and the 25th and 26th. So thank you guys again for watching. It's been an awesome ride. It got so much cool stuff coming up in the future. I've actually got a twin turbo C8 that we're going to be throwing on the dyno and doing some modifications to, and that is very, very exciting. I can't wait to tune it. So thank you guys for watching. God bless you. We'll see you next time.